It's Reclamation Day for Fallout 76 and Bethesda is taking the Wasteland online. In this Fallout 76 beginner guide, we'll cover tips, tricks, explain mechanics, and give you an overview of how to take your first steps in Appalachia when leaving Vault 76. Whether you're a veteran Wastelander or a new survivor, watch on to find out what is new and different from previous Fallout games. I think you'll be intrigued to find it's much more than you realize. Character creation can take seconds or hours depending on your preference. You can change your appearance at any time via the game's menu, so do not worry too much about this. If you don't pick the default options, highlight each section of the face that you want to tinker with, and you will be given a myriad of choices in terms of size, colors, density, etc. There are multiple hair and beard options, as well as the possibility to select makeup, scars, and other skin blemishes to complete your personalized look. Further customizations within the game are available via Atomic Shop apparel, Pip-Boy skins, and even poses for pictures. If you want to level up fast, get the Inspirational perk, and focus on completing public events and group content. Unlike Fallout 4, builds will play a major role in Fallout 76 due to the new way in which special stats work together with the available perks. Leveling up your character will give you stat points, and these cannot be changed as of launch, although apparently a respec option is in development, so you'll need to consider what perks from those stat groups you're interested in beforehand. Further, perks are obtained, equipped, and ranked via something called perk cards. Level up equals put points into stats. The amount of points into each stat will determine which perk cards you can equip based on how many points the perk costs. Put point into stat. You get to pick a perk card, and the game suggests you one from that stat pool of cards. Level up equals perk card pack. You start getting card packs every other level starting at level 4 until level 10. After level 10, you get perk card packs every 5 levels. Combine duplicate perk cards for ranked up perks. While you can swap your perks at any time, you should really spend some time researching and theory crafting before making decisions about your stats, as you don't want to end up without enough points to equip the more powerful perks of a specific stat. Mutations are the new traits. Previous Fallout games gave you traits which would buff or debuff aspects of your character in specific situations. This time around, radiation is high, and you can acquire a mutation that has both beneficial and negative status effects. Understanding mutations will be key to optimizing your build, as you might want to indeed become a mutant to dominate Appalachia. Become mutated by idling near hazardous waste or within radiated or gas areas, eating radiated food, or swimming in or drinking wasteland water. You can also contract mutations from certain enemies such as feral ghouls. You can cure a mutation by taking Radaway or prevent them entirely with rank 2 of the Starch Genes perk. Equally, if you get a mutation you like and you don't want it overridden, the rank 2 Starch Genes perk will prevent you from removing it with Radaway. In previous games, you gathered Bobble Heads to unlock special permanent buffs to your character. No longer. Now you need to gather these items and consume them to give yourself a 1-hour boost of some kind. If you find another of the same bobblehead and use it, the effects do not stack, instead replenishing, not extending the timer. Bobbleheads and magazines seem to have fixed spawns, and the effects of bobbleheads and magazines seem to stack. The perks Perceptibobble and Panapictographist play a sound whenever you're near a bobblehead or magazine. The Curator perk makes bobbleheads and magazines last twice as long. Questing got a lot more MMO-esque, with the main quest also giving way to repeatable daily quests and public events. All of these have useful rewards that can help you earn atoms by completing challenges, Fallout 76 version of in-game achievements. The map is no longer in your Pip-Boy, and you can use it to navigate the vast wasteland much more effectively than in previous games. Public events happen in specific locations, but some spawn randomly around an enemy. PvP seems to be disabled around these activities, so it's safe for everyone to participate. There are PvP events, of course, but they are optional. Fallout 76 is a survival game. If you want to thrive in Appalachia, you have to focus on establishing your camp, covering your necessities such as food, water, and rest, and essentially setting off to build a good foundation for repopulation. Crafting and crafting recipes play a very important part in your survival. You'll want to gather as much junk as you can and bring it back to a workbench to get materials. There are public workshops that you can use. Crafters should be on the lookout for the perks Makeshift Warrior, Gunsmith, Armor, Contractor, Science Expert, Chemist, Powersmith, Science Master, Exotic Weapons, Home Defense, Ammosmith, and Superduper. This last one gives you a chance to double the results. Make sure to keep an eye out to avoid the many afflictions such as diseases you can contract. Keep an eye on your weight. If you're over-encumbered, you won't be able to use the very convenient fast travel feature. If you find yourself constantly heavy, consider the Strong Back, Pack Rat, Traveling Pharmacy, and Through Hiker perks. If that's not enough, perhaps the Marsupial Mutation, sacrificing some intelligence for extra carry. If you die, your junk drops where you died and you have to make it back to that spot to retrieve it. The game even gives you a quest to do this. Go retrieve your junk. Both cooperative and PvP play are optional in Fallout 76. If you want to go it solo, you can have your own private server and be left in peace to conquer the wasteland on your own. If you only want to co-op, you can also join a friend server where PvP isn't a thing. And even if you join randoms, PvP is mostly optional until you fight back. You are immune to player damage until level 5 as an anti-griefing measure. Remaining passive. If you don't fight back, other players attacking you won't do much damage, and even if they do kill you, they'll get a nasty wanted status that makes them the target of the entire server. When in multiplayer, you will be able to talk to others via voice, but you can disable this if you want your options so you won't hear other players even within proximity. There is no in-game type chat as of yet. You can also use emotes, which are gestures to communicate non-verbally. Gather them by completing activities or buy them from the Atomic Shop. Reviving. Other players can revive you by using a stim pack when you're down. Perk sharing. When in a group, if you have 3 points into Charisma, you can share an active perk effect with your group. To do so, you need 3 times more points in Charisma than the perks cost. As is necessary for any continuous world, enemies respawn in Fallout 76. Loot also respawns, meaning that visiting specific locations regularly can yield new items and results. Fusion core generators, for example, will give you fusion cores every so often. The enemy respawn timer seems to be rather fast, so if you've cleared an area and have some hacking or lockpicking to do, make sure to get on with it quickly. Enemies have tiers of difficulty, and their levels don't adapt to the player. Of course, the XP they yield varies accordingly. Higher level and more difficult enemies may require a group, but give you extra XP, and can even drop legendary items. Enemies will attack your camp, so you need to fortify them with turrets. There are special enemies with stars and crowns. These are not confirmed to be legendary enemies, but are thought of as elites instead. Any enemy type can get a crown. If you decide to launch a nuke, the area you nuke spawns difficult and high-level mutated enemies. These enemies should yield unique weapons and armor, although the exact drops are not yet confirmed. Bethesda announced the existence of Fallout 76 factions in a series of introductory tweets. However, as players interacted with the beta, we found all the members of those factions had been killed or had fled long ago. Regardless, you can still join these factions to complete special quests for access to special equipment, or if you want to launch a nuke, requires joining the Enclave. There are ranks within these factions. For example, you must earn commendations to rank up in the Enclave. Since there are no NPCs to chastise you, you can join all the factions in the game. Quests and logs are found through robots and act as NPCs. Fallout players love modding, and it's coming to Fallout 76, but not yet. Once modding gets here though, it's important to know these key things. Modding is expected to arrive at some point after November 2019, according to Peter Hines. Modding is only available in upcoming special private servers as per the developer. You'll be deciding what sort of mods you're including and running, and everyone playing on that server is playing with those mods. Once you join a special private server, you cannot take that character to a public server. There is no information on availability of paid mods, but you can buy special cosmetics from the Atomic Shop. Stay tuned for some more Fallout 76 content as we wade through the builds the game may have, and be sure to check out our best perks guide.